A few days ago, I took 5 grams of mushrooms, settling into what I expected would be another introspective journey. But as the familiar onset began, that gentle dissolution of ordinary awareness, something entirely unprecedented unfolded. About an hour in, as the walls began their subtle breathing dance and colors took on that particular luminous quality, my mind suddenly crystallized into a state of startling clarity. It wasn't the usual psychedelic confusion or visual spectacle. Instead, thoughts began forming with a precision and certainty that felt more real than my everyday consciousness. The revelation came not as a gradual realization, but as a complete knowing that dropped into my awareness fully formed. This entire existence, this life I'd been living, was an elaborate game. Not a game in any trivial sense, but something far more sophisticated. A complex simulation or reality that I had willingly entered. But here's where it became truly extraordinary. Along with this understanding came the memory, or perhaps the knowing, that before entering this life, I had made a deliberate choice. I had taken something, some kind of substance or undergone some process, to completely erase my previous memories. It was like discovering you'd been playing a video game with complete amnesia about who you were before you started playing. The clarity was overwhelming. I could see the elegant design of it all, how perfectly constructed this reality was, how seamlessly it had convinced me that this was the only existence I'd ever known. And in that moment of recognition, I realized I had a choice that hadn't been available to me since I'd entered the game. I could end it. Right there, right then. I could simply step out. That's when I became aware of another presence, a consciousness that felt unmistakably like a brother. Not necessarily a biological brother from this life, but something deeper, more fundamental. There was an immediate recognition, that particular energy of sibling familiarity that transcends explanation. He was there in the space of my mind, and we fell into this playful, teasing dynamic that felt like the continuation of a conversation that had been going on for eons. There was this brotherly competitiveness, this gentle ribbing that siblings do when they're completely comfortable with each other. "You know you could give up if you wanted to," he said, and there was laughter in his voice, but also genuine care. It wasn't mockery. It was more like he was presenting me with an option, the way someone might offer you an exit from a challenging video game level. Something rebellious sparked in me then. Maybe it was pride, maybe it was curiosity, or maybe it was just that stubborn part of me that refuses to back down from a challenge. I decided to call his bluff, to show him that I could step out if I wanted to, but that I was choosing to stay. I began the process of withdrawing my consciousness from the game. It's difficult to describe the sensation. Imagine the feeling of your awareness slowly detaching from your body, but magnified beyond anything you might experience in meditation or lucid dreaming. I felt myself beginning to come out of this reality, like consciousness was being drawn up through layers of existence I never knew existed. The sensation was both terrifying and exhilarating. Part of me was curious about what lay beyond, what I would return to if I could. The rest of the trip continued with various other experiences, but nothing quite matched the profound clarity of that central revelation. As the effects began to fade and I returned to ordinary consciousness, I was left with this incredible experience to process. Now, days later, I'm still sitting with it all, trying to understand what it might mean. I'm approaching it without judgment, without rushing to conclusions. Was it just the mushrooms creating an elaborate fantasy? Was it some kind of genuine insight into the nature of reality? Was it metaphor dressed up as literal experience? I've had people express concern about dissociation, about the dangers of not wanting to be here anymore. I appreciate that concern, I really do. But here's the thing. I love life. Even if it is a game, even if it is a simulation, I absolutely love being part of it. It's taken me a while to reach this point of appreciation, but this journey has been fascinating. The game metaphor actually fits beautifully, whether it's literal or symbolic. We gain experience, we learn, we develop our character, we level up through challenges. We form relationships, we face obstacles, we grow. Even if it's just a metaphor, it's a powerful way to understand existence. I still don't have definitive answers about what's real or what constitutes truth. Maybe I never will. But whatever this is, simulation, reality, game, spiritual journey, it's beautiful. It's growing, evolving, becoming something more. And I have this deep sense that the best is yet to come. The experience has left me with more questions than answers, but somehow that feels right. Maybe the game isn't about finding the ultimate truth. Maybe it's about the journey itself, about how we choose to play, about the growth that happens along the way. And for now, I'm choosing to keep playing.